traders, and welcome to your weekend analysis video. Hope you're all well and you've had a great weekend. Unfortunately, this video is going to be a bit of a strange one for you in that I've been going through the charts and I've got to be honest with you, there's absolutely nothing out there at the moment that I'm particularly keen on trading. I've been looking through all of the pairs, looking at some of the longer term charts, the shorter term charts, but the reality is of everything is that ultimately there isn't any clear trade out there. And it's really difficult when I do these videos because ultimately I know that you guys are watching these videos and you want to be making trades. You want to be in the market. So you're going to look at these videos and you're going to be looking for the trades that I'm taking in the hope that you can get involved and also make money, right? Which is kind of the point of this service here. But what I struggle with is that because I know that that's the sort of thing that you're expecting, a lot of the times I might look at the markets, and if there are trades that kind of, they don't look particularly great, but they'll make you money sort of, let's say 60% of the time or something like that. They're not like the perfect setups, but they're good enough to make money. I'll still talk about them and I'll still show you what I'm doing. But even going on that basis, looking at the charts right now, there's just nothing. I mean, we'll go through a few of them just to show you what I mean. If we look at the Aussie dollar now, what I try and do is I try and take the direction from the longer term charts, right? So what I want to do is I'll trade the shorter term charts, but in the direction of the longer term trends. Now, if we take a look at the Aussie dollar, I would say that yes, I do want to be short the Aussie dollar, but not right now. I need the market to show me what it wants to do before I look to get involved in the trade. At the moment, it pulled back. And when it pulled back there, the initial pullback, we thought, yes, this looks like a good opportunity to get short. So let's, look at initiating a short position. Then the market goes against us. Then you might give it another chance. And then the market goes against you again. And then at this point here, you would say that the market doesn't really know which direction it wants to go in. So you have a decision that you can, or you have a choice that you can make. You can either look to get in, let's say, try and get in early and try and get in on the resumption of the downtrend from the longer term perspective, the 4-hour chart perspective, or you can wait for momentum, all right, in the longer term charts to kind of present themselves and then look for shorter term opportunities. So, if this market were to suddenly break down beneath this sort of area here, okay, and it broke beneath the structure low over here, then what we could potentially look at doing is then get involved on the shorter term basis. And once the market broke that, look for a pullback on maybe the 15-minute chart to that structural level and then get the sell off from that. Do you see what I mean? We don't have to be that early to the trade, like getting all the way up here, because, we've tried that a few times. And on the initial pullback, it's absolutely fine. But when you start to get this sort of price action over here, you can see that this is a bit congested and the chart doesn't really know which way it's going in. So from that perspective, there's not really a lot that we can look to trade. If we look at the Aussie CAD, for example, it's exactly the same. Look at this. There's just nothing. Aussie franc, nothing. There's no momentum on the longer term chart. When I'm saying nothing, I'm looking at the 4-hour chart, right? Primarily for the momentum, for the kind of like the guide as to which way the direction is. And maybe you can take a look at the 1-hour chart as well. But you can't just trade the 15-minute chart without some sort of confluence from these other charts here. And if we look across the board, I mean, there's just literally nothing. Even the Aussie New Zealand, you think, yeah, that looks like quite a nice downtrend. And it does, but if we look at the pullback, it hasn't really gone. So the better option, right, the more conservative approach, and the one that's going to make us more money in the long run, okay, and it does mean that we will miss some moves here and there, but the one that's going to make us more money in the long run is once this initial pullback takes place and it doesn't go, wait for the market, wait for it to break down, okay? So wait for that sort of price action there, all right? Then once the market breaks through the structural level, then you can look to play the pullback to that level on the shorter term time frame and then the sell-off from there. Does that make sense? So I'm really sorry that there's not, a great deal that we can talk about here. But if you look at literally all of the charts, just pick them randomly. Look, the Swissy yen, we thought that we were going to go short after this momentum. Now we've got a lot of momentum to the upside. Doesn't really know which way it's going. The Euro pairs, Euro Aussie, look at it in the middle of nowhere. It's just all of the pairs at the moment are really sort of jittery, and they have no real direction. So we need to wait for this direction to enter the market. And I'm not saying that we need to write off next week completely from a trading perspective. Absolutely not. You know, it might be that we get momentum tonight or tomorrow. It can occur at any time, right? So I might come on to the video on tomorrow night's Inner Circle analysis video and say to you all that yes, there's been a whole heap of opportunities that have presented themselves, and now we can look at taking a trade. But just right now, looking at the charts right now, I have to be honest with you, there's not a lot here that I want to get involved in. I want to wait for the momentum to come back into the market before we look to trade, because I think ultimately that's the best approach. That's the best way to make money. Because if you kind of go gung-ho and if you're scared of missing opportunities, then inevitably you get involved in bad opportunities and it costs you money. And then you hate yourself for doing it and you get into even worse opportunities because you're chasing the market. Okay, so, you know, I don't know why I'm apologizing, but I am sorry that the market isn't doing what we want it to do over the past little while. And it has been a little bit like this since the beginning of the year, but, you know, hopefully that will change and we will start to see some more sort of trend-driven, momentum-driven markets that we can trade, okay? So have a fantastic day tomorrow. Take a break. Don't even bother looking at the markets until tomorrow night, and hopefully tomorrow night we'll have something better to look at. Take care now.